Atlanta's classic gospel radio station, AM 1260 WTJH. We're the Joy House. Woo! That was the latest from Mary Mary, featuring Kiara Shear with The God in Me. Number 4 on the Joy House Countdown with your host, Sean Garvey and Alex Felton on AM 1260 WTJH and online at www.am1260WTJH.com. I am so excited. It's a Friday. The movie Not Easily Broken is in theaters right now across the country. The movie based on the book by best-selling Bishop T.D. Jakes. The movie stars Morris Chestnut, Taraji P. Henson, Jennifer Lewis, and Kevin Hart, and Wood Harris is also in the movie as well. On the phone lines with me is legendary actor and filmmaker, and he happens to be the director of the new movie, Not Easily Broken. Everybody in the Joy House, give it up for legendary actor and filmmaker, Bill Duke. Bill Duke, hey, my man, how's it going?
Bless you, my friend. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for calling in today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today about the new movie, Not Easily Broken, in theaters right now across the globe, across the country. You're doing a lot of big things in 2009, my man.
Been blessed, man. Been blessed. And this movie we're very proud of. It's based on Bishop Jakes' book about relationships. It's called Not Easily Broken because he feels that a relationship should have the man, the woman, and God in the middle. If you don't have God in the middle,
right?
You know, somehow arguments occur and your egos get involved and your baggage, but if you have a spiritual base, it will last.
All right, can't argue with that. Now, you are a native of New York. We're going to talk a little bit about the movie in just a couple of moments, but you happen to be a native of New York. Shout outs to everybody, all my people out there in New York listening to us on the internet. What was life like for you growing up in New York?
In those days, you know, I grew up in a small town upstate, Poughkeepsie, New York. Then I later moved to New York City. And in those days when I first grew up, man, you know, those were the days in which, you know, I was born in 43, so the civil rights movement had not started yet. And I saw that and the evolution of Dr. King and Malcolm X and all those wonderful people who made it possible for us to be here today. And we faced some pretty interesting situations. I remember my sister and I being attacked when we were very small, coming from church and calling names and stuff like that. But there were some good people in our community too that were white. So it's, you know, it was not easy, but it really taught us a lesson. I had great parents that were very wise. They didn't have great educations, but they had a lot of common sense, so they gave us a lot of good values. You've
been through a lot, and look at you now. You a Hollywood celebrity. You are doing a lot of big things. You are directing movies, music videos. You are an actor. You work with A-list celebrities, everybody from Lawrence Fishburne to Robin Givens to Andy Garcia to Mel Gibson. The list goes on and on, even Forrest Whitaker and the late, great Ozzie Davis. I remember seeing you. I remember when I first saw you, you was in the movie Car Wash. And my co-host, Alex Felton, he's a little bit too young to remember the movie. I'm just kidding with you, Alex. But the movie Car Wash, you play as the angry black employee or the angry black man in the movie. And
doing at that
time. And you played the part very well. And now you are in movies. You're in more movies, more television shows. You are doing the directing thing. Did you ever see the day that you would go from a Hollywood celebrity taking on challenging roles in television and film to a filmmaker directing movies and music videos to being appointed to the California State Film Commission Board by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger and serving on the board of trustees at the American Film Institute, not to mention founding your own company, Duke Media. Do you care to expand on that, Mr. Duke?
Well, I feel that God has blessed me, you know, and I really mean that. I mean, I don't go to church every Sunday, but, you know, God is real in my life, and I know that without that presence, without that, how can I say, guidance, I would have not been able to do anything. And so I thank God for enabling me to do everything that I've been able to do. And luckily for me, I have some good people around me also that Bill, you know, you're a black man in this industry, a big, dark black guy, you know, and your acting career may not go where you want it to go, so you have to be equipped to do more things than act. And once I understood that, I really went on a learning curve and got into the American Film Institute and graduated from there with a film degree, and then learned some about producing and writing. And so I try to, like, have a lot of things I can do. If one thing doesn't work, you still got to pay the bills,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the movie Not Easily Broken, which is in theaters right now, based on the book by best-selling author and Bishop T.D. Jakes. Before making this movie, did you go to Bishop T.D. Jakes and ask him if he would consider bringing this story to life, or was it the complete opposite? Break it down for us.
What happened, Bishop Jakes had a deal with Sony to make some pictures, and this was really the first picture out of that deal. And they had drafted the script. They brought me on, and I worked with the writer, Brian Bird, and we, made it into the movie that it is. And basically, when I read the book, I really identified with the story. It's one of the few times you're going to see a love story told from a male point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because people, I guess, feel that men are supposed to be strong all the time and don't understand that, we have feelings, we have doubts, we have fears, and knowing how to deal with them ourselves and have people in our lives help us deal with them is something that the book talks about.
Right.
Book about healing also.
Right. We're playing a little bit of Bishop T.D. Jakes in the background. We got my man Bill Duke, legendary actor and filmmaker, the director of the new movie Not Easily Broken, which is in theaters right now. We're talking a little bit about the movie. Now, Not Easily Broken, which stars A-list of celebrities. You have Morris Chestnut, who's in the movie. You also have Taraji P. Henson.
Turn off too.
Oh yeah, Wood Harris, Jennifer Lewis, and many more. A great cast in the movie. Can't wait to go see it. Now, tell our audience the concept of the new movie Not Easily Broken, in which you directed. For all of my people that just now tuning in, I just saw previews for the past couple of weeks. It looks like a very, very great film. I want you to break it down to us, what the movie is all about.
Well, it's really about relationships, and how if you don't have God in the relationships, they're going to fail, because then it falls on our egos and our baggage we bring to the relationship. So it talks about a couple that go through some challenges, and once they let that spirit go from the relationship, it doesn't work, and then when they bring it back, it begins to work again. Then you have, this movie's hilarious because Kevin Hart is one of the funniest people around today.
Yes.
There's a lot of great stuff in the movie. He has a great Jennifer Lewis. There's a classic scene, a mother and daughter classic scene with Taraji Henson. Wood Harris is, hard to the core. And so we have a lot of good actors, and the script, I think, was well done, and the message is it's a very healing message for our community, but it's told from a black male point of view, and I think that's unique.
Now, if there was one character in the movie you can relate to, who would it be and why?
Well, I would say Morris Chestnut, the lead, because sometimes, men, even though we put the front on, we're not strong all the time. We have the same kinds of fears and anxieties that anybody else has. And sometimes when you expose those to people, particularly some women, not all women, but they consider that weakness. And somehow so we go talk to our boys and stuff. But the thing is, in a relationship, if you have a partner, you should be able to express those feelings as well as, going out and getting the bacon and helping raise the family and, keeping the job and bringing things home. But you should also be able to heal there also.
Right. Now, what was your favorite part in the film while making this project? I know it had to be a lot of fun working with these cast members in the movie. It was like one big old family. What was the most fun part for you working on this film?
Jennifer Lewis is a hoot. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. She cracks me up every time.
Jennifer is wonderful, man. And she kept us all laughing throughout the entire process, man. Because she's got a wonderful heart, but she's just funny, and she's real. When I say real, if you ask her a question, you don't want the truth, don't ask her.
Right, exactly. That's
wonderful. But also, Taraji P. Henson, when she first came to Hollywood, she was a student of mine.
Okay.
We had an acting class, and she was my acting student.
Wow.
It was like a reunion between the two of us, and she gives a great performance in Benjamin Button, but also she gives a great performance.
Oh, yes.
And working with Morris, it's a dream. So it was a wonderful, wholesome experience for all of us that were there.
It's Bill Duke on the phone line. Stay tuned. We're going to have more with Bill Duke on the way next in the Joy House Countdown on AM 1260 WTJH. All right, folks, this is the Joy House Countdown. We are on the phone lines with legendary actor and filmmaker Bill Duke, still on the phone lines with us, talking about this new movie, Not Easily Broken, which is in theaters right now across the country. Go out and see it. Now, Bill Duke, before I let you go, you have to answer this one question for me. When the movie hits #1 in the box office, will you, Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I already said that this movie right here is going to be #1 in the box office. We're going to claim it in the name of Jesus. When all you all sit down and talk about doing a sequel or a part 2 to the movie, once the movie becomes #1 in the box office?
This is successful. People are going to want more of this. They're going to want more movies that talk about, faith-based values that show us as men and women in a human and positive light with families and taking care of our children. And they're not going to be corny, but at the same time, they're going to show us as a whole people, not just gangsters and banging up and shooting and drug dealing. And it's going to show us as real people. And
I'm glad you brought that up, because the question that I wanted to also ask you was pertaining to the new president of the United States that we have right now, Barack Obama. That's why I give a hand clap for that. Barack Obama and his family, they are a very beautiful and wonderful family. Now that we have an African-American president in the White House, do you think his position in office will inspire black actors, black actresses, and other filmmakers to release more positive, uplifting, quality movies for all audiences to enjoy?
I think not only actors, but people in general. There are two things that were impressive about Barack Obama. One, he looked and he said, I can't do this alone, so I need your help. We got to take that seriously, his challenge and request of us. Number two, he took all excuses away from young black people, okay? The fact of the matter is that Barack Obama didn't know his father until he was a little older, and then his father died, okay? His mother died very early in his life. He was raised by a grandmother who feared to a certain extent black men when she saw them. So if Barack Obama, which came from that environment, could become president of the United States, not complaining, but doing what he had to do, then he's challenging, without saying it, every person in this country to do their best.
All right. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Bill Duke on the phone lines. I admire your work. You, like I said, once again, you have touched and inspired a lot of people in so many ways. What is the most important advice as an actor and a filmmaker? What is the most important advice that you would give to an up-and-coming, aspiring young actor, actress, or filmmaker? Two things. One, study your craft and make sure you understand it's a business. It's called show business. It should be called business show because it's a ruthless, cold-blooded business. But if you understand it and how it's shifting into the 21st century of the global marketplace, you can survive. Number two, keep God close to you at all times. All right. Two advice to live by in the industry. I hope you all are taking notes out there for all of my young aspiring actors and actresses and filmmakers out there. Bill Duke, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. What else are you working on? Do you have any other projects that you are in the works right now? Building my own company called Crossroads Media Group, and we're going to create faith-based content for all mediums. All right, that's what you got coming up. Can't wait to see that, Bill Duke. Thank you so much for taking time and an opportunity to speak with us today. Once again, the movie is called Not Easily Broken, which stars Morris Chestnut, Taraji P. Henson, Jennifer Lewis, Kevin Hart, Wood Harris, and many more. Definitely looking forward to seeing the movie. And like I said, folks, we're going to claim it in the name of Jesus that this movie will be #1 in the box office. Thank you so much, Bill Duke, for stopping by in the Joy House. Thank you. God bless you, and go out this weekend, okay? All right, most definitely. God bless you too, sir. Bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. Bill Duke on the phone lines in the Joy House. Stay tuned. We have the top 3 gospel songs of the day. Coming up next is Atlanta's classic gospel radio station, AM 1260 WTJH. We're the Joy House.